Hi, good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. This Sunday Club again is meeting you on this relaxing Sunday morning where we are going to dive into our final session of Neuro-Linguistic Programming overview. So, today is a very special day because our 10-part Neuro-Linguistic Programming mini series is coming to an end. And today we are going to bring everything together what we have shared in the previous sessions. So, really excited about this session, and also we are going to put everything to a wonderful conclusion on this so that we can go back, take and apply all these lessons that we have learned on neurolinguistics. So, a very, very important thought to start is every ounce and fiber of your body aligned with your goal, which means that whichever goal that you have for this year, our endeavor is that we should make steady progress and all our resources of the body, every ounce and fiber, should be aligned with that goal, which means that mentally, physically, psychologically, we have to be aligned to doing our goal. So, how do we do that? Well, the last few lessons that you got on neurolinguistic programming on this channel, it was about doing exactly that, and we understood that the most powerful resource that we have is our mind. Okay? So this is again one of my favorite quotes, which is there, which says that abundance is the only reality, scarcity is an illusion. Means that there is a lot of abundance. There's an abundance of possibilities, abundance of resources, growth, learning that exists. And for us to tap into that abundance, we have to tap into that growth mindset. That growth mindset helps us cultivate the field and grow the right kind of habits that we want to. Yeah, and anybody can achieve anything is a presupposition that we carry with this neuro-linguistic frame of mind. This positive mindset is also about tapping into your resourceful states to achieve your goal. And we understood that how, with certain powerful tools of NLP, like anchoring, like the parts therapy, like all those wonderful presuppositions that we have discussed on this series, we can exactly tap into our resourceful states. And these resourceful states are so unique because they actually makes achieving a goal effortless, and that is what is this whole science of neurolinguistic programming is all about. And if you remember, I gave you the brief history of NLP in this series where I said that it was invented by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. It was modeled on some of the greatest change therapists of that time: Milton Erickson, Virginia Satir, then Fritz Perls, and then it is an approach of psychotherapy which was absolutely wonderful because there were language patterns, metaphors to communicate with your subconscious mind, and that enabled some great results. So there was a neuro part of it, linguistic part of it, and programming, that how do we program our subconscious mind using that language. And here we understood that it is really that positive intent that unfolds into that positive mindset. So it is important for us that we say yes to that positive mindset, to that positive intent of ours, and it unfolds into a lot of possibilities in our life. Moving on, these possibilities will lead to flexibility. So all this possibility mindset of NLP is all about creating that flexibility. But how do we become somebody who is having the maximum flexibility and choices in a particular situation? Yeah, and here we understood that your body and mind is connected. There is nothing called as a failure, there is only feedback. And at the end of the day, your map becomes your territory. Whatever you believe to be true is either true or it becomes true for you. Yeah, and like Henry Ford said, that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. NLP mindset, friends, is all about creating that those possibilities and choices for us. Yes, this is the most important presupposition which probably I would say that you should take away from this entire series is anyone can do anything, which means that human beings are perfect. You, whichever stage in your life you are, with the circumstances, with the mindset, with the environment, with the resources that you had, you have done perfectly. Okay, so that means that you can, if you have come this far in your life, you can definitely design by choice, by intent, with positivity, that what do you want to achieve next. So anyone can do anything. And with you, you have got this whole map of the human evolution with you. All those people who were there in the part of the human history, whatever they have achieved, you can also achieve. And if they can do it, you can also. Anyone can do anything. And with this possibility mindset is what we have started this series on neuro-linguistic programming. It was a mini series, and today is the 10th session, the final session where we bring everything together. I strongly encourage you that if you have not um, watched the entire series, you do watch it. There are some exceptional insights, some great concepts that we have packaged. And today we bring everything to, I'll not say a closure, but to a plan to move forward. So today is where we bring everything to a place where you can take these ideas to action. This is our Science of Mind Club. As you know, that it is a vision to help you become better, to make you the best version of yourself, so that more leaders can create more community leaders, more coaches can. And we are discussing topics like psychology, NLP, and mindfulness. The last two series, this one and the one before, were purely focused on psychology and NLP. What is upcoming in the next series is all about mindfulness meditation. So you can expect some amazing insights on mindfulness coming your way. It's a pro bono initiative, absolutely free, will be like that always. The views expressed are completely mine and based on my research on these topics, and I've been researching on them since 2006. And I've been fortunate that I got introduced to some of the great coaches, teachers, and mentors. And as my gratitude, that's right, I'm sharing this with all of you so that you can pay. If you're still curious, there is an amazing podcast that we have put together on YouTube called 100 Master Coaches. You will find some amazing coaches share their decades of experience with you. And every Sunday, if you come and join the Zoom class, you will be finding a community of positive people who are coming together every Sunday to learn, apply, share, and transform this. And there is a Google site that we have put together, and all we want from you is that you be curious and you stay curious. So today, the final concept of the day is all about radiating possibility. What is this radiating possibilities all about? It is about that after you learn all these techniques of neuro-linguistic programming, understanding that how human beings work, how learners work, how leaders work, is about making sure that you choose to become a lighthouse to others. You choose to become, somebody who is sharing that light with others. These are powerful techniques, by the way, friends. Not everyone is taking the time out and understanding that, oh yes, this is how our mind works. This is how, you know, some of the deletions, distortions, generalizations are stopping us from achieving. And when you understand that, you also understand that there any fear or any limitation that anybody experiences is not natural. In fact, there are only two natural fears: loud noise and falling, and all of the other fears can be unlearned. And we also tap into all these techniques like anchoring, like parts therapy, which is helping us understand mind in a better way. Especially the last two videos that we have shared on Milton model, meta model. I think that is what is taking us to the depth, as well as it's giving us a big picture of how our mind works. So first and foremost is that we understand this ourselves and we radiate possibilities for others. And there are some techniques with which we can apply all this what we have learned. But first and the foremost is that any tool will be as effective as the person who's using the tool. So your body is also a tool, your mind is also a tool, and your body will follow what your mind will say. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that people all over are in a trance of disempowerment in some one way or the other, some aspect or the other in their life. It is our job as a leader, as a coach, as a learner, that first of all, we work on our mindset and then we help people to see the cracks in those limitations, those limiting beliefs of hopelessness, helplessness, victimhood that they go on living their life with, that trance of disempowerment. And we break that trance by sharing the positive mindset of NLP. So all the presuppositions that I play before the video starts, these are the suggestions, they are the ideas that you can share with others. You know, something that we just shared before starting the class today, anybody can achieve anything. Now, if you firmly believe in that, sooner or later, your belief will create a lot of such examples, a lot of such possibilities where you will find that this belief is getting realized and your map of the world changes. The first and the foremost is the presuppositions of NLP, the mindset of the NLP. You embody it as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. Second is this most important technique, which is called reframing. What does reframing means? Let's say you have got a picture. The picture is very, very beautiful. Maybe it is one of your favorite pictures from the childhood where you have been absolutely phenomenal. Maybe it is somewhere you have won a race, or it is your birthday, or one of the best days in your childhood. Now let's say this picture is in your mind, and if you go back to that picture, you feel as a person or as a child or as a human being that yes, you can achieve anything. Now with time, this photo which is there in your house somewhere, what happens is that it was there on a wall, it was there on a frame, but then there was dust that started accumulating on it. Then there is maybe some or the other stains that got onto it. Maybe the frame is getting cracked from one side or the another. So when you look at this picture, now you're thinking that, oh my god, is this really me? Or that visual effect of that picture is not that great. The feelings are somewhere not accessible. What you need to do as a neuro-linguistic programming coach or a practitioner is that first of all, you have to clear the frame. So just like in that picture example that we are sharing, you take that picture, you take a piece of cloth and you just clean the frame, you clean the picture, polish the mirror. And when you do that, you'll see that the picture is as it is, and you put it in a new frame which is far costly, far brighter, far amazing. Then you look at it and you're like, wow, I think I remember this day just like before. I think I am exceptional. So reframing is all about taking those negative beliefs, taking those limitations, negative habits that people have, and asking all those questions, changing the frame in a way so that people can see that spark of possibilities themselves. So it is about identifying those deletion, distortions, generalizations, and limitations, and kind of putting them in a perspective for yourselves as an also for others, where you take them from a problem mindset to a growth mindset. So there were examples of ways in which meta model could be used to question that. There were examples where metaphors, stories, analogies, and all of these examples that we can give can change the frame of reference in which a person is looking. So when we look at something through a telescope or a microscope, you get a very different view of the object. You are likely that with this new view, you will have different thoughts about an object. Okay, so what we are suggesting is that if you look at your experience through different lens, and if you are helping people around you to look at it from a different lens, definitely you are radiating possibility. So reframing has a very powerful, understanding concept, that it takes a meaning marker to create an association. Okay, so if there is a marker that you're putting for that meaning, it will set up that frame, link events, it will marry concepts. But if you remove those markers from it, nothing in itself means anything. So you can use things like you're changing the content, you're changing the context, you're maybe giving some positive examples, asking certain questions. But the whole idea is to do three things. One, bring people from a victim mindset to a possibility mindset, which means from a impossibility to an as if, that as if I can do this. Second, bring them from failure to feedback. So they should not see failure as end of everything, but they should look at it as a feedback. And third, from a problem mindset, you bring them to an outcome mindset. So that's where we have to shift their perspective. The techniques that we use is called as sleight of mouth. So just like in magic, there is a sleight of hand where one card disappears, another one appears. Similarly, sometimes when you are with this positive intent, questioning people's limiting beliefs is where this comes as a very very magical sleight of mouth pattern, where you are changing their realities in a positive way. If somebody says, "Oh, my life is very sad, my reality is very bad," you can ask how they represent that belief. How would they know that this is true, and how would they know that opposite is true? What would happen as a result of this thought process? What negative consequence is this belief leading to? Or what question can you lead this other person to? So the idea is that we influence the person in a very positive way, so that they can look for counter example, they can look for maybe some metaphors, or they can look for a new frame that kinds of helps them see possibilities in that reality. And all we want you to do is to be the change, yeah, and help them be the change that they are there. So one of my friends had a belief that he said that, okay, you know what, I I'm so overweight, like I don't know when to stop. So I asked that question to him, that okay, so I understand that used to be a problem that you're facing, and if you are now thinking about it, which means that you can definitely change it, because a problem is only a problem when it is out of our conscious awareness, and when we are consciously aware of it, that means half of the battle is done. So now looking at your plate, what you eat, do you know that it's only 5% of what we eat has got nutrition, and rest all of it has is going to waste? Now that was a startling discovery for him. He used to think that the more he eats, the more nutrition he's getting. It's not like that. So I gave him an example that with some proper awareness, with little food, with little bit more mindful eating in silence, you can eat small bites, relish the tastes, as well as you can thank God for that meal, and you can be absolutely, you know, happy that you are consuming nutritious food. In fact, there was an example. This is a metaphor that they said that in Tibet, there used to be Karmapa Lama. So he was a high order Lama of Tibet. He used to stay for fast and just eat in 1 year, and he was keeping just a leaf of a plant under his tongue. What does that mean? And even after 1 year, he was full of energy, he was full of this. So this is a kind of a counter example. This particular way is giving a counter example, giving some positive examples at the same time, and some positive suggestion, so that that belief my friend had about eating and overeating, that is getting challenged. This is where I'm trying to put in a new frame, because all is while he was thinking that he has no control over this habit. This is our job as a leader, as a coach, as an NLP practitioner. Our job is to challenge whenever people have this trance of disempowerment. The whole idea is that they think that the problems in their life, or what you think in your life, the problems you have no control over them. But that control is only lost when we are not conscious about it. The moment we are conscious about the problems that we have in our life, when that is in our awareness that it is the problem is a problem and we need to fix that problem, that is where it starts to shift. That is where the change starts. That's the first step of the change. Now it may go unnoticed if we do not pay attention. Okay, for example, you're living in a house and you observe that there is some dust in the house. What do you do? Either, so there's this friend of mine, he has this pile of dirt in the house. He's not even aware that it exists. He cannot do anything about it. Next day he comes from office, next day he comes from outside, he notices, oh, there's this dust. Now this is, like a task which is there on the brain. The brain is so powerful that sooner or later it will give them a reminder to take care of that. So he picks up a broom, he clears the house. That's the first step. Had he not seen that pile of dirt, he wouldn't have done anything about it. Observation is important. That mindful of observation is important. Sometimes thinking that, oh, will it take a humongous effort to clean the house? No. Maybe all it takes is just to take the first step. And usually it is the first step which is a little bit challenging. For example, let's say if there is a train which is running at a speed of 200 kilometers an hour, it's like a very fast bullet train. And if there is a wall that is in front of it, thick concrete wall, hits the wall and it breaks the wall and it just goes up, in its direction. But let's say if the train has not started and there is a 5-inch metal block or a concrete slab which is in front of it, the train will not be able to start. So our job in radiating possibility as a NLP practitioner, utilizing all these concepts that you have learned, is to help people come up with that starting hurdle, come out of that, break those starting barriers, break those starting limiting beliefs. And when they set themselves in motion, then they will be definitely, continuing that. So, what we are trying to say as NLP practitioner or as a healer or some of you as leaders and coaches is that we do all these things with a lot of compassion. We do it with a lot of care. Because when people around us change, our social circle changes, that also positively influences the entire community. It is all about first that we learn, unlearn, and relearn, and then we help those around us. And this is where all these concepts that you have learned, 10 powerful concepts, a lot of positive suggestions. Every video, there are almost 5, 6 presuppositions of NLP, which is the mindset of NLP. Almost you have got 50 to 100 such bright ideas. The real, I would say, the proof of the pudding is now in the eating of it. When you put all these ideas to action, when you help others learn new ways of thinking, when you help others unlearn their negative beliefs, their limitations, their negative habits, and when you help them relearn that how they can think better, that is where you are becoming a NLP practitioner. NLP practitioner, my friends, is not about getting a certificate. You can spend thousands of rupees or thousands of dollars. You can attend the multiple workshops. They'll give you a certificate, but that is not the essence of NLP. Let this be your last neuro-linguistic programming workshop that you are attending, and the only takeaway that I want you to take home and kind of lead your life with, calling yourself an NLP practitioner, is that you take all these concepts and you put them in action, because when you practice it, that is where information becomes knowledge. So my wish to you as an NLP teacher, my wish to you as you are the NLP practitioner, that you put it into practice. Whatever opportunity life throws at you, maybe it is a challenge you face in your life, maybe you see your friends facing something or the another, summing it all together, that let that intent, let that mindset, let that positivity of NLP go through, and you put it in action, in any process, any change process, and you help yourself get from a present state to a desired state, and you help those around you pursue for excellence, pursue for greatness. Okay, and with a lot of gratitude to all my NLP and neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, psychology coaches, whoever teachers that I met during this. I feel very grateful that I was able to compile these concepts to you, and I'm absolutely thankful to you that you gave a patient listening to all this series and you gained all these ideas. And my parting note on this series to you is this image that you see. This is you'll find this in a lot of motivational um, talks of Steve Jobs. There is this one in particular where he's giving a speech to Stanford students, on the graduation day, and he talks about the story. This is the third story. I'll not give away the entire speech. If you have not heard it, I'll not give you a spoiler. But the last piece there is also this: just stay hungry, stay food. Now stay hungry for more, for learning more, for applying more, for making more positive change around you. Stay foolish, which means that never be too wise to learn anything and saying that I know it. Yeah. So always be a student. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can directly send it to me on a chat message, or you can put a comment here. You can share this material if you liked it with your friends and you can apply it. You take care of those around you, take care of your parents. Learning is absolutely fun. When you stay hungry, stay foolish. That is my parting message to you. Thank you so much for your kind attention on this series. And every Sunday we are learning something or the other. This now brings us to the end of Neuro-Linguistic Programming mini series. And all I want you to do after this is to test these ideas for yourself, see that how they operate in your situations, and then you do test, and then you change, and then you experiment. So this test, operate, test, exit is the experimentation of NLP, and you take these ideas and you apply it, and you truly become a NLP. On that note, I'm going to wind up this series, and the way ahead is absolutely exciting. The next week onwards, we'll be starting some mindfulness sessions. But before that, 26th of January happens to be the next Sunday. I'll do a Q&A. If there are certain questions, you can either send me an email, you can just put it on our WhatsApp channel as well, or you can send me a WhatsApp. I'll be happy to do that Q&A for you next week. And next week I'll formally announce and give you the structure of that, what will be the 10 mindfulness meditations or the mindfulness techniques that we will practice. This is not related to any faith or any religion, but this is completely very, very scientific, where they have seen that people around the world doing mindfulness, how they are able to remove their pain, anxiety, fear, and they are able to kind of achieve the results that they want with some mindfulness practices. So, we are going to share 10 mindfulness practices with you in the weeks to come. And then there is a free workshop that I have planned, which is on self hypnosis. It's called Building Super Confidence Like Superman. This is we have planned on 2nd of February, which is again the Sunday, but that will be around 4 p.m. India time. So thank you so much. There's a lot coming your way, and continue to learn, continue to experiment, and continue to make sure that you are following your dreams, following your goals in this year, and becoming better than your last one. Thank you so much. Wish you a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.